Devotional Friday, 2nd of October. To laugh is to risk appearing a fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk exposing your true self. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. Do you want to know the shortest route to ineffectiveness? It's fear, isn't it? By trying to cover every base all of the time, by becoming paranoid over what's ahead of you, over what's around you, and over what is behind you. To think about every possible peril, focus on the dangers, concern yourself with the what-ifs instead of the why-nots, by taking no chances, by saying no to courage and yes to caution. Expect the worst, play your cards close to your chest, let fear run wild, triple lock every door, keep yourself tucked safely away in the secure nest of inactivity. And before you know it, to borrow the words from the late author E. Stanley Jones, the paralysis of analysis will soon set in. But so will loneliness, and finally isolation. Is that what I want? No thanks. How much better to take on a few bears and lions like David did. They prepare us for giants like Goliath. How much more thrilling to step out into the Red Sea like Moses and watch God part the waters. How much more interesting to set sail for Jerusalem like Paul, not knowing what will happen to me there, than to spend one's days in monotonous Miletus, listening for footsteps and watching dull sunsets. Guard your heart from overprotection. Happily, not all have opted for safety. Some have overcome regardless of the risks. Some have merged into greatness despite adversity. They refuse to listen to their fears. Nothing anyone says or does holds them back. Disabilities and disappointments need not disqualify. As Ted Engstrom insightfully writes, cripple him and you have a Sir Walter Scott. Lock him in a prison cell and you have a John Bunyan. Bury him in the snows of Valley Forge and you have a George Washington. Raise him in abject poverty and you have an Abraham Lincoln. Strike him down with infantile paralysis and he becomes Franklin Roosevelt. Burn him so severely that doctors say never walk again, and you have a Glenn Cunningham who set the world's 1 mile record in 1934. Deafen him and you have a Ludwig van Beethoven. You see, effectiveness, sometimes greatness, awaits those who refuse to run scared.